Hey burbs, what's up? My name is Victoria Ryan. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm back at you guys with another bird video today. Another one. Today's video we're going to be talking about why I chose a Quaker Parrot and why there have been certain things that I regret later on and some things that I wish I would have paid more attention to in the very beginning before I chose a Quaker Parrot. To be honest, I have tried to make this video several times. But honestly, this week my birds have been, they've been little birdie buttholes this week and very stubborn, especially this little guy. Never mind, no, scratch that because Yoshi, yeah, I'm talking about you, dude. He is so freaking hilarious. He's been literally flying all over the place and been trying to steal my food, and he's hilarious. He is a clown, but he is definitely going to be needing some more flight training because he's getting a little cocky with it. Am I right? Real quick thing before I do get into the video, because I have to give a little mini shout out to my husband because he is the bomb. Ordered my birdies 2 pounds of unsalted, raw, hulled sunflower seeds. This is what I use to train my birds. They freaking love sunflower seeds. And also, my daughters like to give this to them as a treat. I'll leave a link in my description box for you guys. If your bird loves sunflower seeds, you should check these out. Are a decent price compared to the other brand that I used to get, which was like freaking crazy expensive for just a little bag. This bag will last freaking forever until Emery spills the whole thing, but that's beside the point. Like I said, in this video, we're going to be talking about things that I regret about having a Quaker Parrot. Also, quick side note, if you hear me say monk parakeet throughout the video, Quaker Parrots are also referred to as monk parakeets. They were given the name Quaker Parrot because they quake and they shake. Quake and they shake. Quake and they shake. Mwah. Mwah. Just to let you guys know real quickly, they are the exact same bird. So if you are still trying to decide if a Quaker Parrot is right for you and your family, still curious, still on the fence about it, subscribe to my YouTube channel and keep on watching. So in case if you're new to my channel, like I said, my name is Victoria Ryan. I am not a bird expert. I do have a yellow-sided green cheek conure, which is Yoshi. And Popples, my Quaker Parrot. He is the newest member of my flock. Isn't that right, guys? And I absolutely love birds. I love sharing my experience with you guys thus far, what I've learned, and I also like coming on here and asking you guys questions too. I am still new and I'm still learning myself, and I understand that having a bird is a lot of work. It takes a lot of patience, and it can be very overwhelming at times. And I don't want you guys to feel like you're alone in that sense, because I am in the exact same boat. And that boat, my friend, is rocky at times. That was so corny. No matter where you guys are on your research for monk parakeets, you may have noticed that there are a lot of pros to them and also a few cons. And when I say cons, I don't mean to speak negatively towards a bird species. I say these general statements to let you guys know what you may be facing and also what my experience is thus far, because let's be real, not everything that I can deal with within a bird, you guys are willing to deal with, and that's okay, and it's fine to admit that. But I want you guys to be aware of what you may be facing, just so you're not hit with a bunch of surprises and overwhelmed when you do get a bird. Some of the things that you may have read already when you were researching monk parakeets is that they do have a large mother trucking personality within this tiny package. I really wanted to look for a bird species that was known to talk. If you guys are wanting a list of birds that are known to talk, I will leave it in my description box for you, because there are several species that are known for talking, not just larger birds. Quaker parrots are known for being pretty affectionate, and actually that was one of the things that it was kind of a deal breaker between a Quaker Parrot and the other bird that I was looking and considering, which was an Indian ringneck. I think those are one of the coolest birds. They're so neat looking and they're very, very interesting. And they too are also known for talking. But one of the things that kind of separated Quaker Parrots from Indian ringnecks is Indian ringnecks are kind of known to be a little bit louder than Quaker Parrots, which is definitely a deal breaker in my house. Yoshi is so quiet. Like, you guys, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You guys have heard Yoshi. He's so quiet. It's amazing. But that was one of the things with a Quaker parrot and an Indian ringneck, was Indian ringnecks are known to be a little bit louder, and they are usually typically not as affectionate as Quaker parrots are known for. So that's kind of what I wanted in a bird, and I thought, oh, Indian ringnecks are so cool looking, but I do love the qualities of a Quaker parrot more so than an Indian ringneck. So some of the things that were definitely listed under the cons section when I was researching Quaker parrots was that they are messy. Okay, yes, I know. Birds in general are messy. And if you're a first-time bird owner or looking for your first bird, be aware. Birds are freaking messy. And yes, honey, I know what a mess is. I have 2 kids. To be honest, I haven't really noticed much mess difference compared to Yoshi and Popples, and that's something that I would actually argue with my experience, because if I had to pick which one would be the messier of the two, I would say Yoshi. Yoshi's more of the flinger. He likes to take grapes and just fling it all over the place. Does Popple do it? Yes, but not to Yoshi's extreme. Popples even seems to eat more of the food than what Yoshi does. Yoshi just likes to be Yoshi. Like, Yoshi's just Yoshi, man. Chewing. That is something that this little dude here is known for in this household. Popples likes to chew. I can't leave my video notes or anything laying around because Popples will chew them up. He just loves to shred paper, which honestly, it doesn't bother me, especially since he's so small and he doesn't really tear up anything. He's not as destructive as what it may sound like. Like, he's definitely not on the level of a macaw or anything like that, or an Amazon parrot, definitely not. But he does like to chew. So that's something to consider when you're getting toys for your birds, is if they're known for being a chewer, and maybe like a lot of toys that were meant to be destroyed. I know it may seem like it's a waste of money because they're totally destroying the toy that you spent your hard-earned money on, but in all actuality, it's good for them. It keeps their minds active, and it's not, I mean, yes, it may be frustrating because you're like, dude, I just spent $20 on this toy and you shredded it to pieces. It's fine. Like, it can be kind of frustrating at the beginning, but it's like, you know what, this is good for them. It keeps them healthy, it keeps them active, so in all actuality, it's good. So don't worry about it too much. Noisy. This area is a tricky one because we all have our own definition of what's noisy. Mine is different from my husband. Like, he hates noise. Noise annoys him, and that's fine. Me, dude, like, you could scream in my ear sometimes, and I'd just be like, what's up? But there's a difference between the definition of noise in my mind with Popples, because with a Quaker parrot, they don't make, generally speaking, they don't make loud screeching noises. Honestly, they're just more vocal. They talk a lot. Popples loves to talk. He loves to have conversations with the robins outside my window. He is hilarious. He'll sit there and he'll just since I have another bird. Hey, Yoshi! Whenever Yoshi leaves the room, Popples instantly starts calling for him. He needs to know where Yoshi is. They're very, very close. As you can see, they get along great, which I am so fortunate for because it would have made things a little bit difficult in our house if they didn't get along. Popples does get a little loud in that sense when he's looking for Yoshi, or if we all leave the room, he's like, hello, what about me? And he gets a little loud. Also, specifically a pet store that I love to go to, they have an Amazon parrot and also a sulfur-crested cockatoo. The Amazon parrot, Rudy, she can talk, and she'll say little words like hello and hi over and over and over again. She'll say pretty bird, too. I took Popples out to that pet store the first time. He tried to chat it up with Rudy, and he got loud because he needed to know where Rudy was and was trying to have conversations with Rudy. Never heard Popples get so freaking loud in my life until we got into that pet store. Like, I was shocked. I was like, because Popples is sitting on my shoulder, right? And all of a sudden, he starts squawking at Rudy, and I'm like, excuse me, hello. I didn't know that he had that in him. It was all of a sudden and out of nowhere. So does Popples have the potential of getting very loud? Yes, and that's something to consider. There's times, like if my daughters are watching TV, Popples will try to compete with the TV and will get louder. And not that my daughters are mad or anything, but they'll sit there and be like, Popples, What's up, buddy? If he was naturally to do loud screeching calls, that honestly would be a problem. Which is why I stay away from breeds like sun conures and a lot of different cockatoos that are known for being extremely loud or the high screeching noises. Territorial, holy burb. Talking about this specifically, and this is so strange, and this too can change as Popples gets older because he's only like 4 or 5 months old. So this can change as he gets bigger. But at night, Popples is so extremely territorial. And I will soon make a video on how I deal with Popples being territorial and ways around it. How would you describe yourself? I put him back into his cage for the night. I mean, the dude is insane. So territorial at night. It is ridiculous. But I am so very lucky that he does accept Yoshi and that they are best friends, because he never gets mean with Yoshi with being territorial. So that is definitely a plus. Just something to consider if you already have a bird and you're looking at getting a Quaker Parrot. If a Quaker Parrot is your first bird and you're thinking possibly later on you'll add another bird, this is a biggie that you got to consider because... Okay, so now that I've went over some general things about a Quaker Parrot and my experience with him thus far, this is the issue that I've been having recently and things that I'm starting to regret and have concerns over that I really wanted to share with you guys because you may be facing these things yourself and I want you to be aware of it before you decide to get a Quaker Parrot. Back when I first brought Popples home and I was finally, starting to introduce him to Yoshi with both of them out of the cage, I was starting to worry that Yoshi would be the bully of the bunch because let's think about this. I mean, for a whole year, Yoshi had me all to himself. He had his cage all to himself. All the toys were Yoshi's. Everything, the world was revolved around Yoshi. So I was very worried that I would not be able to get both of the birds getting along. I was afraid Yoshi would be mean to Popples and stress him out even more. And holy burb, did the tables turn. Guess who is really truly the bully of the bunch? Whenever Yoshi's playing with the toy, there will be times that Popples goes over there and just kind of like squawks at him a little bit and will get a little rude. There's been times when I'm giving Yoshi a treat and Popples comes over and tries to take it from him and scurry off. There's little things like that, and they do get into some squabbles here and there. Do have to intervene sometimes. There's many a times that I feel like, you know what, I'll let birds be birds, let them settle it themselves, but I do intervene sometimes. I think it's all the testosterone in the air, I don't know, but they do have some squabbles, so keep that in mind. And maybe this is more of in the direction like pointed towards like you guys that have a lot of bird experience, and maybe this isn't nothing. But this is something that I want to bring up and hopefully start a conversation with you guys that have a lot of bird experience and can let me know. One of the things that I overlooked and wish that I didn't, Quaker Parrots don't naturally live as long as a conure. Yoshi's life expectancy is about 30 years and up. Popples, on the other hand, they live about 20 years. Yoshi has a good decade above Popples. If things go the way they are and Popples passes away first, how will Yoshi respond? Will Yoshi be okay? I mean, will that hurt him and put him in a depressed emotional state? My question to you guys is it wrong to have two birds that don't have around the same life expectancy? The next thing that I kind of regret is the fact that Popples affecting the bond with Yoshi and I. I noticed that, yes, there are times Yoshi and I get on each other's nerves. He instantly goes to Popples, like a nurturing aspect, like they go to each other. For example, when Yoshi was going through his first molt, I was the one that preened his feathers for him. I broke off all those little casings, and I know it sounds corny and dumb, but it was like, oh, it was like a little bonding moment between Yoshi and I. And now they're both starting to enter molting again. And I noticed that they preen each other now, and they don't go to me like Yoshi used to. So I'm all like brokenhearted. I'm like, oh, I want my birdies back. Maybe me personally, I need to put in even more work with them individually and not just like all three of us together. I don't know. Maybe that's something that I need to ask you guys too and do more research on, because honestly, is it best that I work with them individually, or should we train together as like a little flock, or does that just encourage them to like work together and not really want to be with me? There's a lot of different scenarios that is tossing around in my mind, and I'm like, well, okay, well, what's the best option? Obviously, Yoshi and I are still close. There's nothing that Popples didn't break our bond. So on the flip side, would Popples and I not have a bond because Yoshi? Because naturally, I know Popples is going to want to talk to Yoshi more and want to be with him more so than me. They sleep in the same area. They are together literally all the time. So will Popples and I never have the bond that Yoshi and I did? Because I had Yoshi all to myself, he had me all to himself for a whole year. Popples doesn't get that because he already has a bird companion. So it's something that I kind of question myself on. I'm like, did I do this right? The concern is Popples not talking. I know this is a silly one to even worry about. Maybe if Popples started talking, maybe it'd encourage Yoshi to try. Who knows? And it would be super cool. I worry too that because Yoshi is more likely not to talk, will that only encourage Popples not to? So there's a lot of different factors with having two birds that really make you question, like, am I doing this right? Am I thinking this out thoroughly enough? Since Popples is very territorial, it makes me question, like, okay, well, my kids like Popples. I worry that my kids will kind of neglect him and go more towards Yoshi because Yoshi's more friendly. And Yoshi may always be more friendly than Popples because he loves being on every member of the house. Like, Yoshi does so good with the rest of us. Popples, on the other hand, only trusts me. The way that I like to describe monk parakeets, I see them as like the bad boy species. I think that they give off this vibe of, don't touch me, I'm a bad boy, I'll break your heart. In actuality, they're a little softy inside. Isn't that right, my little blueberry? I think he has a soft side, and I think he will be very affectionate. I'm going to look at the positive side and say that Popples will do just fine. But I just want to make these very clear to you guys. Some of the concerns that I've had and some of the regrets that I'm sitting here and I'm like, why didn't I think this more thoroughly? Because you guys know I love birds. I get super excited, and honestly, like, if I had the money to and the space, I would literally buy like 100 birds and not even think about it. I have a love for birds. So I totally understand you guys if you're like, oh, I want this bird, I want that bird. I get it, because I was there too. So again, you may have your heart set on a certain bird, but give it time. You do want to make the right decision, because this is at least a 20-year commitment. You should poop on me, man. One really quick tip that I want to give you guys. Quaker parrots are actually illegal in a lot of states in North America because of the dweebs that would turn theirs loose because they got lazy and didn't want them anymore. And sometimes they would just fly off, which is sad and heartbreaking. They don't lay their eggs in a hole. They make a nest like wild birds in North America. So, with that being said, since they are hardy and they can adapt to our climates, they have become an invasive species. They destroy crops, and people see them as a pest or whatever. As much as we hate to admit it, people see them as that whatever. They have become illegal to have in many states. My state is legal to have a Quaker parrot, which is kind of odd in a sense because literally like all the states surrounding me is illegal to have a Quaker parrot. Just Google first to see if a Quaker Parrot is legal in your state, because there's a very high chance that they're not. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had so much fun making it and sharing my love for birdies with you guys again. And I'll give you guys updates on Popples, on how we're doing. Will he ever talk? Who knows? But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope that this led you in the right direction. If you're considering a Quaker Parrot still, I hope that this helped you out and gave you some insight from someone that is not an expert. But I do have an experience that I wanted to share with you guys and let you know some of my thoughts, concerns, feelings about the whole scenario. And I hope that this just gave you an open mind to the situation. Also, again, I cannot highly ask for you guys that do have experience with birds to chime in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and feelings. All I ask is that you be respectful to me and to other people. That's it. But I do appreciate that you guys do share your thoughts and feelings, because it does help me out so much. You guys, I cannot put into words how much you guys have helped me along the way. And I'm very confident that your comments have helped other people as well. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with Popples and I, and occasionally Yoshi. He's looking out the window right now. He's busy. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on all my social media accounts, which is @VictoriaRyan for both Instagram and Twitter. Or you can just stick around here on the tube and watch my weekly videos on my burbies. Rejection. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, everybody.